Do not make the epic mistake that I made. In fact, I may have even made two really big mistakes, but the second one is somewhat debatable. We'll come to that in just a moment. I'm Rob, and in this Raid Shadow Legends video, I'm going to be reviewing my first month ever playing Raid Shadow Legends and giving my absolute honest opinion, what I think about it, the things that I've done right, and the things indeed I've done wrong, because there's definitely some things that I did make mistakes on, and you absolutely want to avoid these things as a newer player. So if you're a newer player coming to the game, and this is a video you should really pay attention to, because you don't want to make the mistakes that I did. This is basically giving you a bit of a head start, because you can basically see the things you need to do properly and avoid the things that you don't want to do, because trust me, the mistakes I made, potentially, it could have been rather costly. Right, this is a game where you collect champions, power them up, and go through various battles to progress through the game, and there's a ton of different game modes as well, and I really like it. That was one of the things that drew me towards it, and the other thing that drew me towards it was the fact that it's free. It's free to play, so there's nothing to lose. So I downloaded it, started playing, and I've quickly become pretty hooked, and you can download it too, completely for free. Just use my link in the description below or the QR code up top, and when you do that, you get the Tag War Pack absolutely for free. This is upon registration. You get that, you get XP booster, you get silver, you get energy refill, you get XP brew magic. Really, really good. So just click that link or hit that QR code to get that. And if you reach level 15, then you'll get a Ugo pack, which is really good, another epic hero, and you get some more goodies at the same time. If you're a returning player, you get the Tag War Pack. So there's nothing to lose, just hit that link below or that QR code up top and get all that stuff. Right, so what was my first day like playing Raid? Well, I've got to admit, I came to this opening map here, the Bastion, and I thought, crikey, it looked just completely daunting. It was like, wow. It was almost overwhelming at first. It looked like there was so much to learn. There was this like portal, Great Hall, Forge, Tavern, Guardian Ring, tournaments, events, clan, index, champions, quests. It just carried on forever, it seemed. And there's like menus within menus and stuff, and it's just, wow. It seemed like, how long will it take me to learn this? But the cool thing is, the game is designed really, really well, and you only have to learn these beginning parts, like one part at a time, if you like, and it becomes actually quite basic. The portal is where you open your shards and things like that. The tavern is where you upgrade your champions as well, and things like that. So it all becomes actually quite basic after a time. It's nowhere near as daunting as it looks, so I was really glad that I downloaded it and gave the game a go, because I pretty much haven't looked back since. And after the first, I'd say, week, I was pretty comfortable in this area here, and I was, familiar with what everything done. There's still some bits I haven't actually explored into yet. I am still learning, but the market is where you can pick up items. You can purchase things. This is actually quite important to do, because one of the things you absolutely should do on a regular basis, and I discovered this as well playing the game, is make sure you do the daily quests. The daily quests are really, really important. Really easy to do. 50 energy, you just do that by doing battles. You can upgrade accessories by doing this. It's accessory attempt as well. You don't have to be successful. They go all the way up to 16. For example, if I've got this on level 12, I'm going through these one at a time. So every day I just come into here, I pick this item here. The upgrade attempt is low when you get to this level, so you can give it a go. 4 attempts failed. It's going to cost you some silver if you fail, but the important thing is just have 4 attempts. You don't have to have 4 successful upgrades. I made 4 attempts, and that's good. And you can then just do the classic arena fights and all the other ones to get the daily quests. That was one thing I learned really quickly, was to make sure you do all the daily quests. And the reason for that is those daily quests give you constant rewards, which are really useful in the game, and they actually end up becoming weekly quests when you do other stuff at the same time, which actually evolve into monthly quests and beyond. So really, really worth doing those daily quests. Make sure you do that. That was one thing that I learned very quickly in the game, is do not ignore those daily quests. So I spent the first week or two just mucking around in campaign and dungeons and a bit of arena, which was really, really cool. But then I tried Faction Wars, and that is where I learned my first kind of little mistake in a way, because Faction Wars, basically it changes around all the time between the different factions. As you can see, this one is open here at the moment, the Demon Spawn Crypt, and also the High Elf Crypt. But the thing is, to do these, you can only use champions from that crypt. So if I want to battle this one, for example, this is the only choice I've got, which is quite small. So you can't just chuck in your powerful champions because it just won't work. They're unselectable. So basically, the mistake I made on this was when I was opening my portals and getting my different shards from here, what I was doing was actually throwing away or feeding my common champions to the better ones, because you do that in the tavern. You can pick somebody, and if you say, okay, let's pick someone that's needing some boosting, like that's a level 1. It's a 4-star champion. I'm not going to throw them away, but what I was doing, I was actually basically getting anybody that was lower level, 1 or 2 stars, and feeding them to these guys to boost them up, because when you do this, you can level them up nice and quick, and you get the added bonus of doing the daily quest at the same time. So they're leveled up, you're doing that part of the daily quest if you haven't done it already, and you're making space here as well. This is another reason that I was doing this, to make space to open more shards, because you do run out of space pretty quickly. So I was doing this, just getting rid of anybody 1 or 2 stars, and I kind of learned not to do that so much. I still think it's sort of okay to do the 1 or 2 stars. I'm not completely sure. I'm sure there's going to be 1 or 2 star champions that are pretty decent. Like Sniper here is actually very good as well. You get her at the start of the game when you start playing, so it's not like all these 2 stars should be discounted or just fed automatically. Maybe the 1-star ones are, but I don't know. But the reason is that you want to be careful of them is because in the faction wars, as you saw, we are limited to the kind of champions we can use. So we've got these ones available here. That's all we can pick from. That's the Demon Spawn Crypt, and then the High Elf Crypt. I've got a slightly more choice actually. I can use my El Hain there, which is good, and I've got a few others which are on a decent level. But if you hadn't done that, and that's probably fluke on my part, that they're on an okay sort of level to make me be able to play and get through some of these stages. But if you'd thrown all these ones away and you hadn't got any of these 3-star ones, you would struggle maybe to get this done. So I'm kind of only feeding my 1-star champions at the moment. That was a mistake I made, because I have actually got some more champions since then. When I first started looking at faction wars, I was actually short of decent champions to actually make any sort of headway into this whatsoever. And there's a lot of these different crypts. So basically, to be competitive in faction wars, you need a decent roster of different champions. So don't just just don't feed anyone to your other ones. Maybe the 1-star ones, but maybe the other ones I would keep unless you know for sure you're not going to use them, or you've got other ones which are going to replace them in your team here for all these different faction wars. Another thing I learned really quickly was actually not to get despondent if you think you're not powerful enough, because I was doing this event dungeon here, and at the time I think I was around about here. I got to do this stage 6, the level 27 queen, and I was stuck. I couldn't get past her on level 40. I just simply wasn't powerful enough. My champions weren't powerful enough. But when you learn how to evolve your champions, rank them up, make them more powerful, put artifacts on them, and just give them more power and strength basically, then all of a sudden things like this become an absolute walk in the park. And it's very, very satisfying actually, just progressing your champions slowly but surely, making your teams better, learning which champions work good together. I learned quite quickly as well. Another thing, it's very important to have a healer in the team, and you do get a War Priest at an early stage in the campaign, so that is really, really important to get her. She's really good. She's sleeping at the moment. She's having a nod off. And you don't have to have this in auto mode, by the way. This is something I just do for the convenience of making the videos. You can actually turn auto mode off and actually select whichever champion you want, or their spell rather, and go about it that way. So if you want to play the strategy type game where you can pick a spell, like you want to do some heavy damage straight away or something like that, you can choose to do that. And like I say, War Priest, really important troop to get early in the game. You need a healer in your team. It's kind of one of the basic things and sounds a bit like a typical, but it is important to have a healer. So make sure you play the campaign early on and get War Priest. Right, now on to potentially a couple of mistakes I may have made one for absolute definite. It was only a little mistake, but kind of could have been big. Because basically I did a video where I spent £100 on the game in various ways in the shop, looking at what I could get, what was good value, what I thought was better value than something else. I decided I wanted to go something like this because I wanted to have a chance to pop a mythical troop, because you get a 0.5% chance of popping a mythical, which is basically 200 to 1. So the odds are pretty low, but I got one of these packs here. I got the single pack at the same time. And the mistake I made was basically, apparently I opened it at the wrong time. Someone said about this in the comments. It was a mistake from me. Apparently there's a time, and I still don't know where it is because I've got to look it up yet next time I do this, but you can open these with a ×2 chance or something. I opened them with the standard chance, so I had like 1 in 200 chance. I literally had double the chance if I had opened it on the ×2. A ×2 chance. Someone said that in the comments, so thanks to them for that. But I didn't do that, and apparently that is a criminal mistake, which you can see it is, because you're literally giving yourself double the chance to get a mythical troop from this, mythical champion. So yeah, don't open these on the basic chance, because the odds are 1 in 200, which is pretty long, and they're not cheap. But if you get lucky, you get lucky. And the thing is, I'll never know what would have happened. I think I had 6 or 7 of these to open at the time. It worked out, and basically with that double chance, I never know if I would have popped a mythical or not. So yeah, that was a pretty big mistake. Another mistake which people said I made as well, and I'm not sure whether I still entirely agree with it, because to me it did make quite a big difference to my game, was these limited special offers. You get these different ways you can buy entire sets of artifacts. You get these 6-star artifacts, all of it, the whole set, 6 pieces, all ready to go absolutely straight away, and you get 6 of the legendary, when you get 6-star legendary chaos ore at the same time, and a bunch of silver. It's already knocked down in price a little bit, and the fact that, you know, it was knocked down in price a little bit as well kind of lured me towards it. And at the time it was the speed set, which I thought was really, really good, because other game modes like Arena, for example, it's very important to go first. Arena is where you set your team against somebody else's team, and basically you have a scrap. So if I'll just take the first one here, I've got this basic team here, I've got a high damage dealer, I've got my speed set on Alice. Now whoever's got the most speed goes first. So if you've got a high damage dealer in first place, to me the logic was I get a head start on damage, therefore effectively give me that advantage absolutely straight away with other good damage dealers and a healer in place as well. It's like should have a good chance to win. We have got more powerful troops in this team, so we should win this. Let's leave it on auto for speed in the video. But yeah, like, really good advantage going first, because we soften them up, and then our other troops, our other champions, can help finish them off. Come on. There we go, look at that. And Elhain finishes. So very straightforward win, but helped to me by the fact that I've got that speed set, which means I get the advantage straight away, especially in something like Arena. See, to me, the speed set really did help me out. If I go to my Alice, for example, I'll put the speed set on. I've still got to upgrade it to the highest level on all the different things. But if we look at this first speed set here, it's legendary. It's got some good stats on it. And if we look at our other artifacts here, there's another little thing I learned as well, which I'll come to in a minute, by using the filter button, which I wish I'd done earlier, because I've got to now get rid of some of this stuff kind of manually, and you can save yourself that hassle. That's what thing I discovered 1 or 2 weeks ago. But I like the speed set because nothing else I've got really compares to it. I think some people have said that sometimes even the epic level stuff can actually be better than the legendary stuff. But if we take a look at this 5-star one, I think it is here, it's only epic, and the stats are nothing like as good as what I've got there. That is a legendary one there though, but again, is that as good? I mean, I'm still learning. It's 2 artifacts per set. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong things kind of thing, and like the helmet there, the hood, what you want to call it, again, the stats are nothing like as good as these ones. So I don't know. Some people said it was a waste of money. To me, it seems to be pretty good so far, but only maybe compared to what I've got. You can go to the Dragon Dungeon and farm some artifacts from there. And if you get lucky, maybe you can get some better stuff. That's what people were kind of suggesting. One other thing I learned pretty quickly was to take advantage of the lower levels of the campaign to level up your champions quickly. For example, if I know for a fact I can do this really quick 9 seconds battle, what I've been doing is I put somebody in front, like my Elhain, who I know can pretty much win the battles on her own. Then you can fill the other slots with other champions you need to level up. But first, to get 3 stars, you're going to need to do it with just 2 champions. So make sure you get 3 stars by doing that, because 3 stars, 2 or fewer champions with no losses. But what I was doing then was just putting in anybody that I'm going to keep, basically that's only got one level 1, for example. Let's find another one. I'll just get rid of him first. And Elhain will romp through him. Because these are going to come in handy later at some point on the faction wars and things like that. Oh, I've already got him now. That's why he disappeared. Right, so we've got 3 now level 1s. These are all okay. I'm probably going to use these at some point. But Elhain can basically win this battle on her own. So if I go to multi-battle as well, I can pick the number of battles. In this case, 28. If I was going to go off, do some shopping, have a bath, do something in the garden, whatever, I can continue multi-battle even if I lose, but it's not going to happen, so we can actually probably turn that off, but we'll leave it on just anyway. But the other thing I found really, really useful, and this is something I discovered earlier, was the gear selling filter. Now, this was off for me for a long time, and this is what I was saying about earlier, something I wish I'd discovered a bit quicker. So we turn this on, we can select some filters. Now, the thing is, with this off, basically you're picking up all the artifacts all the time, even if they're junky stuff which you're not going to keep. So if you know you don't want anything 1 to 2 star, then basically you can check that one off, or check that one off, turn that one off, whatever. But basically it will then automatically sell any of those artifacts you get, saving you the time of having to go through the artifact section, selling them things yourself. It's a slow procedure, and this way it just happens absolutely automatically. You've still got to find out if I should be turning this one off as well. Maybe I don't want 3-star stuff, maybe I just want to collect the good stuff. But yeah, but this is a really nice little shortcut to not having to manually sell stuff later, and then you can just start a multi-battle. Do love the multi-battle when you pick up these multi-battle attempts. I could just walk off now. I could just go do something. Shopping, feed the cat, do something in the garden, even just watch the TV while keeping a glance on the game from the side if it's in the same room, and things like that. But the good thing about this is you literally don't have to be there, and you come back and these lower champions aren't going to be doing much against these enemies. It'll just relying on Elhain's ability in this case, or whichever champion you started with. Kayle is also really, really good, and she will romp through herself and we'll level up. See, we've leveled up those other champions immediately. They've gone to level 2 straight away, and it'll just carry on by itself. You don't have to be there. Just come back 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes time later, whatever, and you will find your champions have leveled up just by themselves with tons of experience, which is really good. And then once they've got to a decent level where you think they're going to be competitive in faction wars or something like that, because as I highlighted earlier, it is important to have different champions at a higher level, so you got options in faction wars, because you are restricted by the crypt there, and just keep swapping them out. Gonna go up again. Look, become 3-4-3 level now. We've gone level up again, and it was just a continue. So I'll just let this battle run, and then we'll jump out of here. And then all I did was basically, when they get to a decent level, just swap them out for some more level 1 ones, giving me better options for faction wars and indeed other game types. Let's watch Elhain get this done. Just going to slow it down to ×1 speed, because even though it's half its normal speed, just gives you time to appreciate the graphics a bit more sometimes. Generally you should have it on ×2, because you're getting stuff literally done twice as fast. But the graphics in this game are so good in places that basically you kind of want to appreciate it now and again. Come on, mate. You know you're no good. Leave it to Elhain. There you go. And when you're done with multi-battles, you come back, you can actually just turn it off and you'll get all that experience. You'll see how people have leveled up and how much silver you earn. So you can just go away and come back like richer in silver. Really, really useful. And as part of doing that, we also have completed the daily quest of the energy. So yeah, you can just do various things at one time. So my overall first month of playing Raid is super positive. It's kind of it probably is my go-to game to come to at the moment, I've got to be honest. I play a variety of games on a regular basis, but this is one I actually really look forward to. I look forward to doing things like the tournaments. The tournaments are really good as well. And that's another reason why I really like that speed set that I've got, because before I got that speed set, even though people are saying it's bad, I couldn't do the things that I was doing before. Like, it's now just... Let's wait for this to come up. Come on. Thank you. Like, before, the battles were taking longer before I got that speed set. I don't know what it's doing quite, apart from obviously giving me more speed. Don't know the other enhancements it's got, but obviously going first does make a difference. But it's enabling me to just get through games quicker. And I can win tournaments in my group really, really easily. I've won another 2 tournaments the last couple of days as well. Again, really easily since I've had this speed set, which just wasn't happening when I had other sets on my Alice. So I don't know. For me, I'm still very happy with that speed set, even though some people have said it's bad. But I may live and learn, because I may have other artifacts sitting there which I haven't tried yet, which are basically even better than the speed set, which is maybe the point people are making. But either way, it's working for me at the moment. You live and learn, and I shall discover maybe better strategies later on. But yes, overall, absolutely loving the game, and I've still barely scratched the surface of it, which is absolutely nuts. There's tournaments going on all the time. You pick up extra champions for free. Like, one of the first things I did in the game was the Alice Chase. Really important you do this. You can still get her now. Absolutely fantastic legendary champion. Even by opening Primal Shards and those other ones, I didn't get a legendary champion, so let alone a mythical one. But by doing this on a daily basis, you'll get Alice straight away. And then she's one of the best legendaries in the game, from what I've heard. Like, I haven't had enough experience in it to actually know myself, but from what other people have said in comments and things like that, she is one of the best legendaries in the game. And you get her just for free, just by logging in for 7 days. Simple as that. And she's really, really good. Absolutely fantastic. She's my go-to troop to be in my team at the moment. That's how good she is. And you can get her for free right now just by clicking the link in the description below, or using my QR code up top. And you get a stronger start than that as well, because not only will you end up with Alice after 7 days, but you get Tag All immediately, a bunch of silver, energy refills, and brew magic immediately. Then when you get to level 15, which will happen pretty quickly, you get the Ugo pack as well. It's fantastic. So just bash that download button and give the game a go, because I'm really glad I did, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. And if you're a returning player, you get the Tag All pack. So there's a video. If you enjoyed it, it'd be really cool if you bashed that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. Catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.